what the Dynasty Income Surge is, it's first of all, it's like on fire. There's almost 4,000 people in it. Don't let that freak you out. It's just a 7-day group to teach you all about the compensation plan, because Laura is not afraid to talk about money. It's not guaranteed. It takes a lot of effort and skill and like strength and consistency, but it's possible. It is absolutely possible. And I feel like a lot of times when we get into this business, people join because our hearts are made of gold. Totally get it. We love feeling satisfied knowing that we're giving back, we're helping, but it's not, will it keep us there? Because there's a lot of different areas to help people in the world. You can go volunteer at your local like food shelter. You can go, adopt a dog. You can walk a sweet old lady across the road. Like there's a lot of things you can do in your life to get that satisfaction of, oh, I really want to help people, including Beachbody. Beachbody is one of those, because we really are helping ourselves, and as we grow, we're going to help other people and help them grow. That's so satisfying. It brings us fulfillment, okay, because we're human beings. But what keeps us here and what is motivating us to make sure that it not only helps us in our hearts, but it helps us pay our bills, it helps our family, it takes off money stress. Oh, the amount of money arguments my husband and I have had in our relationship, and knowing that I can take full advantage of the compensation plan with Beachbody is liberating to me and empowers me. So it's a really, really great group. So I'm going to share my screen really quick before we get started to show you guys what that group is like, because I don't want you to miss out. I do not want you to miss out on, that's my whole screen. Okay, you guys see my whole screen. Here we go. So this is what the group is like. I don't hear anything. Can you guys hear me? Okay, Christy was like, oops, you just saw my text. Just got your message. Okay, so it started officially today. Yesterday was like a preseason where Miguel Carrasco came on and did a video about superpowers. But since there's so much content and there's going to be so many people in here, instead of using all of your time that you have to work, I want you to be very efficient. So this is a little trick I'm going to show you. First thing you need to do is go to the video section and make sure that each day you're keeping up with the videos. There will be a couple of videos each day. So if you need to space it out, that's fine. But this is the first one, second one, third one. So go in this order, because that will be the order that people are teaching you about the compensation plan and teaching you about their story and different strategies that they had, like where to place your husband in your downline. And after you have your husband in your downline, where to place your additional coaches to optimize his income. So you guys know that I have a goal of helping my mom retire. This is the reason why I've been able to do that, because I was strategic in my placement. Now, this is typically available to those who are diamond and beyond, because once you hit diamond, then you can start getting creative on where you place people. But for now, everyone place all of the coaches on their far left and their far right legs. I don't want to be complicated, because I know we have some coaches on here who are new and they don't yet understand that there's a right side and a left side to your organization. But this group is going to be very helpful to educate you on that. So if you're not in this group, I want you to be in this group. You can go to the photo section and click through the pictures, be inspired, realize what's possible. Lindsay Matway, she is a mentor of mine and a mentor of our teams. She, her very first paycheck, which you can see down here, was $85. And by first paycheck, I don't mean the very first week she signed up as a coach. That means like the first paycheck after weeks of working really hard. And so she wrote this to her mentor at the time, saying like, I'm doing this. This is a dream of mine. She made $85. She's been doing this business since 2010 with all of her heart, with passion, and now she has a team of over 100,000 coaches. We are part of that. Moxie's a part of her team. And I just shared with somebody what she makes now annually and weekly. And I'll share it with you guys, because I want you to know what's possible. Now, she's worked really hard, but the beautiful thing is that she has attracted so many quality people to her organization, and a lot of them have been amazing. Some of them have fallen off, because that's just the nature of the beast. Just like the people that I've recruited or I've added to Moxie for the past couple of years, some have stuck around and some haven't. It's like, okay, no hard feelings. Some people have a why and have a reason and have a heart for it, and some people get distracted and busy and burned out and they quit. Like, it's no hard feelings. With her, I'm so happy to be in her downline, to be mentored by her, because her first paycheck was $85, but now weekly she makes around, well, last year it was around $60,000 weekly. It might be more now. It's going to probably be more, but she makes $3.5 million a year. So that's pretty awesome. I just want you guys to know the potential of this business, that it's not just like a silly thing that, you know, you're always going to be spinning your wheels like a hamster. You're going to be struggling your whole entire life. But when you build a business, when you're an entrepreneur, golly, if you think about, like, no, it's crazy to me. And this is the video that I'm doing in the income surge is exactly about this. But about if you're building a business and if you want to be an entrepreneur, then you're going to have ups and downs. And typically what people do is they have to invest like $100,000 to even start a business, brick and mortar, let's say. And then they have utility bills, and then they have shipping and handling bills, and then they have hiring employee bills, and they have taxes, and then they have everything else. So let's just say minimally, they just have to rent a space so they can make their products and sell it. Okay? At that point, they're like $100,000 deep in their business, and it might take them 2 years to even start making profit. With Beachbody, it takes $40 to start this business. And that's not even included when you buy a challenge pack. It's not even $40, so it's zero, free. Okay, and then it's $15 a month to maintain that business fee. It's so minimal. To run this business with the potential of being multi-millionaire is so incredibly mind-blowing to me. And it's not just like a one-stop shop. It's not like a one-time thing. This team that we're on has produced dozens and dozens of millionaires and hundreds of six-figure earners. And I just want you guys to know, like, if you're not at the point mentally where you believe that you have it within you to be a six-figure earner, which is the top 2% of the entire company, then I want you to focus on shifting your mindset, because you do have what it takes. Because I've met a lot of people, and I don't know everybody in the world, but I'm going to tell you something. I feel like I know you guys, and I see how you work, and I see your hearts, and I see the character that you have. I see you post frequently. I see how you're inspiring, and gosh, the creativeness of your challenge groups. I think, oh, have you guys seen that graphic where like the guy's mining and there's like the diamonds right there, and then he turns around? I see so many of you guys like that. We're at the end of the month. And we have like 26 more hours of the month, and you're almost there. What if you follow up with like those 3 extra people? What if you follow up with those 10 extra people? What if you invite 4 extra people tonight before you go to bed? I get it. It's the last part of the month. There's going to be high anxiety, a lot of pressure. You're going to probably feel burned out and not want to do anything for the first 2 weeks in March. But you have to push through that funk. I'll be honest with you. I was tired tonight. I told my husband, I am so tired. I have dark circles under my eyes. I fell asleep in my son's room again, and he woke me up 2 minutes before my call started. But I'm here. Okay, I'm showing up. 1, because I'm super passionate. He just had to wake me up. But 2, because I'm showing up for my business and for you guys. And I want you to realize that it's consistency over time that will build. And if you're at your Success Club goal this month, excellent. If you're not, decide what's going to make yourself proud of the next 26 hours. I was talking to Makana earlier. We were kind of making a plan for her because she's working insane hours right now. If you guys don't know, where's she at? There she is, my little Hawaiian princess. Makana is a new coach on our team. She's a part of my Team Cup Challenge, and she has been like hustling, guys. She is, if you go to her page, she's so creative with her posts. I love her style. It's very introspective. It's very unique. But she's like, well, I have all these goals. And I told her, well, let's focus on what will make you proud. If you want to hit Success Club, you tell me. We'll get you there. Like, we will hustle, and we will fight, and we will stay up all night going for it. But I had her decide, what is it that you want us to hold you accountable for? And I was like, is it that you want to work out until you throw up tomorrow? Is it that you want to do 4 hours of personal development? Is it that you want to invite 5 people? Is it that you finally want to post 4 times a day? Is it that you want to like set your calendar of when you're going to start your next challenge group? I want you to have a victory tonight, tomorrow, before the end of the month. I want you to have one thing in mind, and I want you to do it and be big with it. Like, it doesn't have to be small. It doesn't have to be like, I'm going to choose to eat oatmeal tomorrow instead of a donut. That could be a victory. We can celebrate that. That's totally fine. But make it something that's monumental, that's a challenge for you. I want you to celebrate any level of victory with your business, to remind yourself of what you're capable of, because we're not just a part of this dynasty team, this dynasty income surge for no reason. Our team was hand selected to represent this kind of business, like this kind of prestigious group, because of the quality of coaches we have here. And that would not be possible, and that would not be happening if you guys were not also eligible and absolutely capable of being a top earner in this business. So you have to decide in your head that you already are there. Work as if you're already a six-figure earner, and then your business will grow. Act like you're already a millionaire earner with your leadership, with your consistency. Act like you already have 100 coaches looking at you each day, making sure that they can duplicate your success, and you will get there. If you treat your business that way, you're going to up the level of your professionalism, up the level of what people think as far as your success rate. You know what I mean? Like people say, fake it till you make it. Y'all know I hate fake, but I am pro fake it till you make it, because it's a mindset thing. You're not faking it when in your head you are a rock star. In your head, if you are like a diamond coach, and in your head, if you are just pounding away with helping your challengers lose these pounds and consistently inspiring people and starting to host team calls, like you act like it, you do it, you show up, and your business will grow, and your business will not grow farther than where your head is at. So guys, for the next 26 hours, before we jump into this Q&A to hopefully get our blood pumping and get some ideas flowing through, I want you to write down on a piece of paper tonight and say, this will happen before tomorrow at midnight, before the clock strikes, before the end of February. I want to achieve this, and that will make me feel proud of myself, and we will go from there. And in March, we can do the same thing, and we can even up that a little bit more. Sound like a plan? Because I need you guys to be proud of yourself. And if you feel like you did bomb this month, then own it. Be like, yeah, I totally sucked this month. I didn't do what I said I was going to do. I didn't follow through. I didn't work out. I didn't invite. I was scared to post. Then own that. Identify those things in your life. Say, ooh, that sucked. How can I fix it? And I'm going to do better tomorrow. But for this month, let's celebrate the victories that we have and go for it. Anybody can hit Success Club in 24 hours. I know that you absolutely can, especially with the all access, 3 points each. That's 2 customers, 2 people. Okay? So I'm going to stop rambling, and I'm going to find Cari. Where are you at? Hi, Cari. Nobody's asked you any questions yet. They must not like you. I'm just kidding.
Here I am.
Oh, okay. I like you, but nobody else does, Cari.
It happens.
See, everyone says I'm right. I'm just
kidding. I do.
I'm just kidding. No, but I wanted, a couple of weeks ago when we talked, I was like, hey, can I pick your brain? Like something magical has happened with you since our top 12 trip. When we sat down during our one-on-one, if you guys don't know this, Cari qualified to go on our top 12 trip back in, was it October, September?
September.
And she sat down with me, and I knew who Cari was, and I knew that she was a high volume producer. I knew her name was on the top of the leaderboards for volume and Success Club. And she said, I love doing this, but I'm not going to build a team. And I was like, okay, why? Why is that? She's like, I don't talk about coaching. I was like, well, why is that? And she's like, well, maybe I can't. Maybe I'll make a post about coaching. We'll see how it goes. And then, Cari, I'll let you take it from there and kind of what has transpired since September to now with your team, with your income, with your overall growth with your business.
Okay. So like Laura said, like when I first started, it was just kind of strictly focused on, the challenge groups, on the challengers, and getting people into the challenge groups, setting people up with their challenge packs. I never really looked at the big opportunity that was there. Because I kind of worked, I still do. I work a full-time job, and I do photography as well. So I was kind of thinking, I do like this, but I wasn't really thinking like the long term. I didn't really understand like the true potential, I don't think, until the retreat, until I actually sat down, like talked to Laura, saw some of these other girls that were doing great jobs and really looking to build their business. And then I kind of decided, you know what, like I might be selling myself short, and also selling some of the challengers in my group short by not offering the coaching opportunity to them. And I kind of looked at it and I realized that I'm like, maybe some of these challengers aren't doing it because they kind of think that they might be stepping on my toes if they were to ask about it, or, really inquire about, being a coach themselves. So I didn't really look at it that way until I actually, talked to Laura, and I actually kind of gave it some thought. And I'm like, you know what, they might actually not even realize that it's an opportunity. So, after I spoke with Laura, I did put a post out there, and I also put one in my challenge group. And I did get a couple of people say, hey, I would like to get, a little bit more information. So it kind of started out slow, and I'm probably always going to be like that. I don't put a lot of pressure on people. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I kind of lead a little bit by example. And I definitely give guidelines. I definitely am there for help and stuff like that. But I'm hoping to lead by like my example and being there for help and stuff like that. But the biggest thing, and the biggest piece of advice that I would give to people now, and I think that I've heard it on the surge as well, is to post more about the coaching opportunity, because I didn't really do it in the beginning because I thought it would kind of turn people off that were current challengers. Like, oh, why are you posting about this coaching opportunity? Like, you're looking at it as a business perspective now instead of just trying to help people. But I think it actually shows that it's a two-tier thing. Like, yes, I am, but I think it also makes people take you more seriously. Like, where you're not just somebody, I'm here to help you to lose weight. Like, yes, I am here to do that, but I'm also building a business based on that. So that's something that kind of turned in my head, like, to realize, like, yes, like, I think they almost respected me even more, like, once they realized that, like, hey, there's potential here. Like, I'm not just doing it for, $30 here, $30 there. Like, that's great, but that's not going to pay the bills, and that's not going to allow me to do this long term. Because if I wasn't getting paid, if you don't have that opportunity to get paid, you're obviously not going to be able to invest as much time into it, which is also not going to be allowing me to invest time into my challenge groups and into my challengers. So after I kind of realized that, and I think that people respected me because I already kind of garnered that from my challengers, because I did take a while. And that's something I still do recommend to people. I do think that people should get a little bit of practice in their challenge groups, really get a feel for it, get their confidence up before they start worrying too much about building my coaching team up. Like, I would suggest to build up your customer base first, because you can't have all these coaches and no customers. So to me, the way I would probably still do exactly how I did it. I just might have talked about the coaching opportunity a little bit sooner than I did. Not that I have any regrets. It's just something that I would, if for other people, for new coaches starting out, because I probably waited about 3 to 4 to maybe 5 months, because I just wasn't looking at that aspect of it. But even if I probably would have dropped a few more, maybe a few more hints in the challenge groups about the coaching opportunity, I definitely wouldn't have dove right in, because I think that could also intimidate people sometimes. Especially people that are really they're joining the challenge group because they really do want to get a handle on their eating. They want to get a handle on their workouts. So I wouldn't put that added pressure on them right away still, and I still don't do that. But I would definitely start maybe putting it out there, like, more openly in general, so that maybe anyone that does have it, their wheels can start turning a little bit, but still not putting any pressure on them. But the one thing that I would, like I said, for the new people that are starting out, I would definitely, my biggest suggestion would be to focus on your challengers, focus on building relationships with them, and focus on just creating an environment where people really enjoy your challenge groups. They want to invite other people to your challenge groups, whether that be friends, family, coworkers, things like that. Like, wow, you got to try this. And you need to make sure that they're getting results, because if they don't, their results are going to be seen by other people, whether it be their cousin, their sister, their coworkers. I mean, a lot of my challengers that come into the group are from referrals from other people in the group. So, and of course, that's the perfect opportunity to say, hey, you have 2 or 3 people that you might be the perfect person to be a coach yourself. Like, why don't you give it a try, or why don't you enroll it? Because then you can get, you can get the commissions. You can have. Because a lot of times, too, but people feel comfortable when they have people they know in their group, and it's a perfect time for them to kind of get their feet wet and to learn the challenge groups with people, coaching people, like, rather than just hopping on and kind of feeling uncomfortable. So there's definitely different things of how I would recommend to people. But like I said, the biggest thing is don't put so much pressure on yourself. If you are, your first week, your first month, don't think that, like, oh, I'm doing something wrong, or this person's doing this, or this person's doing that. Just really remember why you even started, which is, first of all, to better yourself, to continue to focus on your own journey. Don't get too sidetracked and disappointed. Stay positive. just keep working, do your workouts, drink your shakes, be excited about all that. Like, be a challenger in your own group. That's another thing. I'm very active in my group. And I think that also people think that's pretty cool. Like, I'm not just, I do my workouts. I do my, I post about my workout every day. Well, not every day, but, most days. I post my shake every day. I post most of my meals. I do, daily motivational things like that. Like, I pretty much am almost like right alongside of them, but also I'm definitely the one that's, obviously if someone's not participating, maybe shoot them a quick message or, like, just make sure that your challengers feel like a part of a really close community, a close-knit community. And this is just from the challenger angle. And then also from the coach angle, when you do start incorporating coaches into your challenge group, give them maybe, a few guidelines, like specific tasks that they can be in charge of, so that they really feel like, okay, I can do this. Like, I know exactly what I need to do today, or I know, okay, Thursday is my day to do this post. I'm going to do a video today, like, so that they have specific guidelines and they can kind of work on things that maybe they're not as comfortable with. So, like I said, focus on your challengers first, really get them, get your challenge groups like really solid and get comfortable and confident. And I think that also makes it easier to invite people, because that your challenge groups are awesome. So you're like, listen, I know that you're going to love it. You're going to meet people, you're going to meet friends, you're going to learn things, you're going to get these cool recipes. I think you get a lot more confident about inviting. And I think that's something that I definitely did. When I first started, I was kind of like, oh gosh, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, I'm inviting them to this challenge group where I'm kind of learning the ways, which is fine. And it challenges you. So again, looking back, I think it made me a stronger person and coach. So that's okay. But that's going to happen. That's like, and know that they're growing pains. Like, you're going to learn new things. Like, you're going to learn through your challengers. A new coach can come in and be like, wow, she's great. She has great ideas. She has great enthusiasm, whatever it is. Like, so I think it's all a growing process, but just remember that don't worry if you're not, right here when you first start, like, it's going to take time. Like, none of us, were 1-star diamonds in the first 2 months of our business. So just, my suggestion would be to just focus on your challenge groups, build them up, start talking to challengers. You're going to notice it, like, because I notice it even now more. If you have strong challengers, you're keep it in your mind. Okay, let me shoot them a quick message. Like, let me drop a couple of hints here and there about the coaching opportunity, and it's something that you kind of learn as you go along, the best way to approach it. And each person is different. So there's different tactics too in your challenge groups to say, hey, like, different calls to action to, like, talk about, like, the coaching opportunity. Like, is there anyone in here that, is would love to inspire people, or, is something that this is something that you might look into. And if someone comments on it, great. That's an open window. So there's different things and different strategies you can take, to start talking about the coaching opportunity in your challenge groups. Me personally, I don't know if Laura would agree with this, but me personally, I think for me, some of the top coaches, most of them maybe come from the challenge group because they've experienced it, and they already know what it's like. Like, they've done or at least they've done the program. And they've maybe, like, a lot of them, even if they've done like P90X, or they've done, some of the older programs, so Pop Insanity or 21 Day Fix. Someone that has an idea of what the programs are all about. I think sometimes, just because coaching isn't just about, being perfect. We all know that. Like, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to know how to lift weights and how to, the nutrition and all that kind of stuff. Like, coaching is really just about, being able to inspire and motivate other people. And really, and as far as we're concerned, is really getting people into the community part of it and really excited and stuff like that. So I think once people have experienced that, and it could take people 3 days. Some people come in and they're all like, they know, like, this is awesome. Like, I think I want to do this. I want to give it a try. And, like, that's something that you'll learn too as you go along. Like, you'll get better at spotting that, because that's something I've gotten better about. Like, 'cause in the beginning I wasn't thinking as much about it. So I definitely would suggest you guys definitely keep it in the back of your head. Like, even to my new coaches now, I'm like, don't focus on it. Focus on getting challengers. Focus on hitting Success Club. That, to me, that should be everybody's first goal. Hit Success Club, and then maybe, all right, now take some time. Like, think of even in your head. Like, do you have friends that you think might want to do it? Do you have coworkers? Do you have family members? Like, definitely give it some thought and get the wheels turning. But just also focus on the challenge groups and hitting Success Club.
I think that's great advice to, like, I think it was Kendry tonight. She asked me, okay, what do we need to do first? Like, tell me what's the next step. And we were talking about rank, and I think that's great advice and she's hit Success Club beyond, but for somebody to focus on Success Club first, because I feel like that is simply the outpouring of them practicing the 4 vital behaviors anyways. Like them doing the basics will eventually lead them to Success Club once they maybe expand their market or talk to the right people. And then from there, it's kind of like, okay, you got your feet wet. You're learning the business a little bit more. That's cool. Hopefully your confidence is a little bit more up. You don't have to know it all. And at that point, you can start talking to those customers about potentially coaching. And not everyone's going to say yes. There's actually a lot of people on this call who are my personally sponsored coaches who were not challengers first. So it's like some people will and some people won't. That's why it's important for you to always let people know that there is an opportunity out there, whether it's in your challenge groups or publicly on your Facebook. But typically the best and I think easiest way to onboard a coach onto your team is through the vital process of them being a customer, getting results, becoming a coach, and then leading groups themselves. That's kind of just a natural evolution. People who get the business opportunity here are going to jump right into the business, and you can mold that and get them back into a challenge group. I had a getting started right call with a coach. I don't think she's on here, Sherry Spinks. She has not been through a challenge group yet. And on our call, she said, okay, so what is a group? What is it? What does it mean? So is it like, do I have to build a website? I was like, let me tell you, it's easy. So it's funny, like the concept. So people going through it, it'll shorten the learning curve.
Yeah.
Christine had a question for you, and so did Aaron. So let's get through these 2 questions, and then you guys keep it coming, and then we can even popcorn it out where you can unmute yourself and ask. Or you can even, Cari, at some point, I'm going to even open it up to everybody to answer certain questions.
Okay.
But Christine said, what does your typical day look like? What does your day look like?
Well, I have a full-time job, but I work from home. So I've always been a pretty good multitasker, which thank God, because otherwise I'd want to kill myself, which I already do some days, but I can handle it a little bit. I also have 3 kids. So yeah, I have my hands full, and I'm a newborn photographer. And of course, about 5 of my newborns were born last week. So it's been a crazy month, but sometimes that's how I operate best, is when I'm busiest. Sometimes when I don't have nothing to do, I'm like, wait a minute, what do I do with myself? So it's kind of, it's just one of those things. That's what works for me. But first thing in the morning, of course, I check into my group as soon as I get up, and I check into our group, and the first thing I do is I post a thread. I don't use the tracker app, and again, I'm neither here nor there. I just personally prefer Facebook, so I don't think it's a bad thing. I know a lot of you guys use the tracker app. That's great. It's just, for me, I prefer Facebook, and that's what I started with, and I think I just got comfortable with that. So I just use that. So, and I know that the thing I like about the tracker is that they have a workout check-in and a Shakeology check-in. So, excuse me, what I do every morning is I post a workout check-in thread. So it's kind of like a motivational, like just a quick motivational post saying, hey, welcome to day 3, and then just something like, hey, are you sore? Are you feeling great? You should be proud of yourself by now. Push play when you do check-in when you're done. And usually almost all of the challengers have check-in. And I think they all feel pretty good about that. It's kind of a cool thing to say, hey, and if they didn't, they'll say, hey, I'm so sorry. Like I did this or this or this. So that's my first thing that I do in the morning. I do the check-in I do the post. I usually try to do it by like 6 because I have some early worker outers. So I usually try to get that post in by 6. Do my workout, drink my shake, get the kids off to school 3 days a week. 2 days a week they're with me. But they do have nap time, so that's when I do a lot of my work. But I do a lot of pockets, like a lot of people talk about, where I, do find opportunities to message people back, or I don't have like a set schedule because that's just not possible. That's just not an option for me with kids and my other, like I said, my photography job. I try to do some editing in between, multitasking, a lot of stuff like that. So I don't have like a strict schedule. But as far as Aaron said, you constantly check in with your challenge groups throughout the day. Or do you have specific times where you devote to the group each day? Well, I get I don't use the tracker app, so I don't know exactly how the notifications work with that. But with Facebook, obviously every time, the way my groups usually work is that we do the workout check-in post. People, so that post is always kind of getting dings because people, once they get finished their workout, they'll check in. And then I always encourage people to post most, if not all, of their meals, which I love because I think other challengers get inspiration from it. And it's really good because the more people that do it, more people do it. So that's like a cool thing too. And we get a lot of people posting, so we get new recipes and stuff like that. So as often as I think customers and challengers really like comments and like different, like, like, because at one point I actually posted and I said something about, it was a call to action, like, what are you enjoying most about the group? Because it was something that I wanted to know. And a lot of people said, like, they love getting feedback on their post, or they love, like, watching, me message them about something that they posted about or something like that. So I do personally try. It takes me 2 seconds. If someone went out of their way to post a recipe or something like that, like, wow, thanks so much. Like, we really appreciate, and I think people like that. Or if they say, hey guys, I just tried this new shake flavor, like, here's the recipe, So I do try to, if I can. I mean, I'm, again, a multitasker. So if I have my phone in my hand and I see, say, so-and-so posted, I will try to make, again, I want to make everyone feel like special in a way, you know what I mean? And I don't, not just feel that way. I really do want them to succeed. So it's kind of like, I want them to know that I'm there and I'm commenting and stuff like that. So, I would say as often as possible. Again, if I have like 2 newborns in a row, which could be 6 hours, I'll say to my challenge group, listen guys, I'm not going to, I'm going to be MIA for the next 3 or 4 hours, just in case, anyone wants to know, or, anything like that. So I kind of try to stay pretty active, but I also have coaches that co-host with me. So that helps out a lot too. So I can say to them, hey, I'm going to be, I have a really busy day. Can you take on, can you just make sure that you're checking in every now and then, just to make sure that everything's going smoothly? So I don't have a set schedule, but I do try to, stay active as much. And I don't have scheduled posts or anything like that. Like, I just kind of, like, a lot I do with when I have when other coaches are co-hosting, just so that doesn't get confusing. But I kind of play it by ear, because I think every challenge group's a little bit different challengers or different personalities and stuff like that. So I kind of, run them at, as needed kind of thing as I'm going through it. So hopefully that helps. That answers your question.
Yeah, I was like, it answered my questions. That was, first of all, a good question as far as the frequency of checking in, because it sounds like your challenge groups are very active, very engaging, and a lot of times, and I'm a part of this bucket, my challenge group sometimes, some months, it's like pulling teeth to get one person to even participate. And I ask myself, is it me? Is it them? What's going on? And so I, bring myself together. I'm like, well, what is it? Do I bring energy to the table, or does the energy I have, even though it's online, so you think, but people don't like gather it, people do. Like, your enthusiasm comes through in your posture, in the way that you type, and how often you post, and the smile that you have. People can gather how you're doing, regardless of how much you try to cover it up. Like, people have that 7th sense. How many senses do we have? 6, 5? 6, 5. So we have a 6th sense when you see dead people. So the 7th is when you understand people through social media. So I always have to ask myself, am I committed 100% to a workout program myself? And if the answer is no, then that's my wrong. That's the issue. That I am not myself. And it doesn't even have to be a workout program. It could be the 3-day refresh. It could be the portion fix. It could be the ultimate reset. It could be day 1 to day 60 of a specific program. But acting like I am a test grouper in that challenge group, like acting as if, and this is what I did with Core to Force that really helped me commit and helped me keep energy up, even though the group was insane. I acted as if I was chosen to be in a test group from Beachbody Corporate. I showed up every single day. I worked out every single day, and I got crazy results with Core to Force. And to this day, it's my favorite program because my heart was in it. And so if your challenge groups are crappy, is your heart into your program? If not, switch up your program, spice things up, but you have to be committed 100% to your own product or the product. 2, are you consistently posting the same time every day? Are you posting stock photos? Are you posting you? Are you being real with like your journey, where you've been and where you are now? Or are you hiding behind the fact that you are kind of like 5 pounds above where you want to be or should be? Any level of like walls you're trying to put up, they're going to feel that. So like Cari was saying, she is in her group. She is a challenger. She is like the star student in her challenge groups. It doesn't mean that you have to post only once doesn't mean that you have to post 100 times. Every group is a different personality. But yeah, I think that's great advice to focus on. You said focus on Success Club first, be in your challenge groups and let that be the conversion. Because when you have Success Club each month, you're going to have a growing customer base, which is then an excellent way for you then to reach down into people's lives and help them see the potential here in this business opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as far as, I don't want to say I'm the rock star in my challenge group, but I honestly, like, I don't portray that either. Like, I don't really I'm definitely, as far as I'm concerned, like there's people in my group that are in better shape than me, so it's not like about that. It's more just about, showing up, I think. And and Laura said, showing enthusiasm. And I think that can really show even through a post, even through because I've even seen posts in the challenge group where I'm like, that kind of sounded like you may have copied and pasted that from you know what I mean? Like, it just didn't seem authentic. Which you don't always have to be, let's be honest. We're not perfect. You know what I mean? Not every single day in my group am I perfect. There might be days or weeks, a couple days that go by and I'm like, maybe I wasn't feeling it as much, or I didn't post as often as but that's okay. That's not, nobody's perfect. It's not, there's no right or wrong. It's really just gaining that, because then you have that leniency of being a little bit taking a step back here and there, because your customers already respect you and they already just trust you. I guess that's the biggest thing too, is and that's how I think that they stay with you, because a lot of times it's not just about, good, I sold the challenge pack. Okay, your job's not over. Actually it just started. That's nothing. Big deal. So now what your goal is to either keep them there long term and keep them drinking the Shakeology, keep them active in your challenge groups, and then of course eventually hopefully turn them into a coach. But that's not what you're thinking. Okay, good, I'm going to make them a coach. No, you're going to get them results. You know what I mean? And then eventually you're going to show them just a really cool 3 weeks. That's what I always tell people, 3 weeks. I have 3 weeks to show you not only how cool these programs are, but how awesome these challenge groups are. How great the friendships can be, the community, the environment. It's not just, it's 3 weeks, so that's what kind of how I look at it, not just, okay, cool, there's another person in my challenge group. Really try to take the time, and I'm sure all of you guys do, but to try to take the time of because each person might react better to something else. So this person's very active in the group, great. They don't need as much one-on-one messaging, but if someone's not, showing up, commenting at all, it doesn't necessarily mean they don't like it, because sometimes I'll message them oh, I love it. It's great. I have all these new recipes. I'm trying this, but maybe they're a little bit shyer, and that's fine. So that, and maybe that might be okay, well, that person's probably not going to be, that interested in coaching. If they're that much of an introvert, they're not, posting in Facebook at all. That's probably not but that's fine. Because Laura said, that's going to be where your volume comes from, is from your customers. So if you want to continue to making that residual, not only the volume, but also your commissions, that's going to come from your customers. So you really don't want to, in your own head, you're thinking, okay, when I sign up and when I sell a challenge pack, I want to either keep this person as a customer long term, because not only, especially even if they don't ever want to coach, because there's a lot of people that don't. They don't have time. They're just looking to get in shape, and that's great. That's what you're there for, to help them. But what you can also, not want to say use them for, but what they can also benefit you for is to be an active person in your challenge group. Because if they're in the challenge groups month after month after month, they're going to become more and more vocal. They're going to learn new things. They're going to be more confident about the products and their results. So they might be the people that say, hey, here's my transformation picture, for no other reason than they want to motivate other people. So there's so many different things that you can focus on, but don't just discount the customers, the repeat customers and the residual customers, because that's awesome. Don't only worry about coaches, because they're both important. To keep the long-term customers, keep them on the Shakeology, because that's going to give you the income as well. And it's also going to give you another great challenger that could help keep your challenge groups exciting and fun. So that's another thing.
Susan said, do you have a graduate group, or do you just roll over challengers into your new challenge group each month?
I keep them in the challenge groups. I don't have I don't have time to manage. I don't know how people do that. I don't manage several groups. I do my challenge group, my own. I do a couple free groups, of course, here and there. But as far as my challenge groups, and again, I love it. It's awesome. But most of my challengers actually just stay in the groups. So as long as they're drinking their Shakeology and they're on their auto ship of Shakeology, they can stay in the group. So that's the way I do it. And most of them do, because I think because they're, and what I also do too is I encourage my other coaches that are in the group or long-term customers to post about their shakes all the time. Because I think that also kind of influences people, like, wow, everybody's drinking these shakes. Like, because a lot of times in the beginning, people are like, well, I want to keep going, but I can't afford the shakes. So it's kind of like, I think, but if they're in an environment where every single person is posting their shakes almost every single day, and like showing different recipes and how much it's benefiting them, and it's exciting and it's good, I think that's more apt to be like, oh, well, everybody's drinking the Shakeology. So I think that really helps the community and helps the people continue on with it. Like, it's not even a thought. Like, I don't ever talk about it. Like, oh, if you're not drinking Shakeology, I just assume that everybody is. Like I don't really run into that problem. But every now and then someone will message me and be like, well, I don't know if I can afford it. And I'll say to them, like, I completely understand that. Like, if you want to like give it some thought, if you have any questions in the meantime. But as far as the challenge group goes, like, you have to, if you can, if people are really enjoying it and they're, getting the results from it, they're going to find a way to afford it. And then that's also when you want to approach them with the discount option. Because to me, if you don't offer them that option, you're almost doing them a disservice. If you know that they're ordering the Shakeology every single month and you're not offering them the discount option of the coaching, then that's not really fair to them. And if they find out from somebody else, there's no reason why you wouldn't. So obviously I don't want to put pressure on them if you think they're going to be a great coach, but at the same time, if they've been in your challenge group for a full month and they're going to stay on the Shakeology and they're loving it, they tell you about it, they're posting about it, then I would approach them about, and that also gives you a good way to approach them about coaching. So you can give them the discount option, but then also that gives you a leeway into saying, hey, and also I would love to, to talk to you about the, the financial, opportunity as well. So April, I hope that answers your question. I pretty much all of my challengers, and then I also, as I'm training new coaches, now we're kind of breaking up into separate challenge groups. So, it used to be all the coaches were in my challenge group, but now as the months go on, we're all kind of breaking out into different challenge groups. So it's a little bit more manageable that way, and you can give everyone a little bit more attention. So that's how that works. So most of my challengers do stay on month after month, and I market it to them like that. Like, yeah, it's called a 21-day fix, but I guarantee you that you're going to love it, and you're going to want to stay on into the next challenge group and the next challenge group and the next challenge group. And I have people that have been with me since I started in June of last summer, and they're still with me, a lot of them. So, some of them are coaches, some of them are discount coaches, some of them are still customers because they just feel weird about the coach name, which is fine, because that's fine. You'll still get the commissions. They're happy, you're happy. So, that's fine.
That happens to me too. I have like rollover customers, and I've brought up coaching a few times. And I'm like, I'm not ready, I'm nervous, or I want to wait for my own results. And sometimes you just know, you're like, it's not a big deal. Like, let's BFFs forever, and you just be the rock star at high energy in my group. I need people like that. Like, you need, I call it, if you guys have ever apprenticed with me, a requirement that I have for my apprentice coaches is that they have to read this book called The Energy Bus. And in the book, it talks about the CEO, but it's, in his mind, a CEO is the chief energy officer. And so, like, you need those energy people in your group. I'm not trying to, like, all mystical, like, weird hipster talking about energy, but it's a real thing as far as, like, your enthusiasm and what's contagious, because that kind of energy and positivity will respond, like, it'll have a reaction in your groups. And the same thing goes in your team pages. Like, as you guys are building your teams, as you guys are expanding in your organization, that same amount of leadership and energy and even like belief that, like, this team is going places, I'm going places, this is how we can duplicate it. And I know not every single day we're feeling it. I told you guys, like, not every single day you're going to feel it. But just like every single day, do I feel like changing my son's poop diaper? Heck no. Every single day, do I feel like washing my mascara off my eyes? No. That's why I have yesterday's mascara on my eyes still. And that was a bad choice, because I just pulled out a bunch of eyelashes. You see the consequences of not following through with what you're supposed to do? I'm just kidding. But let's take our emotions out of it and not let our emotions lead us, because what needs to lead us is the practicality of, hey, this is where I am, this is what I want to do, and this is where I want to be. So what will take me from point A to point B? Is it going to be sitting back freaking out about my emotions? No. It's going to be doing the work, showing up every single day and being proud of your work ethic, being proud of your daily choices and daily behaviors, not necessarily looking up and saying, oh my gosh, well, we're doing the same thing and she's achieved this and they've achieved this and this looks different than mine and look what they're posting and I feel so behind and nobody understands the pressure that I have. Everyone has their own obstacles. Everyone has their own story and own storms to overcome. So what I want you to do, a call to action from this Moxie Monday, is 3 things. Okay, so the first call to action is to write down that victory. I want you to set in your mind a victory, a goal, a win, something that you can hold on to for the next 26 hours. And you say, I am going to achieve this. I will achieve this. I will do this. It could be hitting Success Club, and by golly, I hope it is. That was a good grandma term. But if you need to start smaller on these small successes to up your confidence, then do that. Just know that, like, I want you guys to be benefited financially, and hitting Success Club is a huge point in that. But if it just means, let's take Success Club out of it, even though that's like the pinnacle, the cornerstone, like that's huge. But let's talk about small victories. Why we can absolutely help a customer if we sell them a sample pack, okay, a 7-day Shakeology sample pack, or a Beachbody on demand all access, or having somebody. I'm trying to think of other little successes that have affirmed me lately, because sometimes you just need that one thing to affirm you, to say, yes, okay, I needed that confidence booster. I want you to identify that, write it down, and I'm going to post something in Moxie, and I want you to tell me that victory. I want you to tell me what win you are going to have between now and 26 hours by the end of the month, okay? Don't hold yourself back, and don't belittle yourself, and don't talk yourself down off the cliff. Like, go for it. Whatever it is, go for it. It could be small, it could be big, but it's yours. That's what matters, okay? It means a lot to you, and it's going to make you feel proud. So on March 1st, when you wake up, you're going to feel proud of yourself, and then you're going to say, let's do it again. All right, now I'm going to up my goals. I'm going to rearrange my goals. I'm going to rearrange my work ethic. So instead of hustling and freaking out the end of the month, I'm going to do that now. I'm going to work as if tomorrow is the last day of the month, because somehow procrastination works, ladies. When you know there's a deadline, you show up heavier. Change that mentality and show up earlier in the month, so you're not having this anxiety late in the month to hit those late goals. That's the first call to action. Pick a victory, a win, a goal, and I want you to post it below when I post it in the group. Second is to join the Dynasty Income Search if you have not already, and I'll post that link again, and watch those videos, because they'll rock your world. Be responsible. You're the CEO of your business. Like, I can lead a horse to water, but you guys are going to have to be the ones that really understand this business to take advantage of it financially. And 3 is what Cari said: focus on Success Club first, then focus on Emerald, and so on and so forth. But if you focus on Success Club, that means you are adjusting and getting in the groove of doing the basics, doing that so well, and improving in areas that you might have gaps. So if you're struggling with Success Club, talk to your upline, ask them to do some reviews with you, maybe look at some conversations you're having, look at some posts you're having, and maybe identify some things that maybe you didn't do well this month that you could do better next month, if you're willing to accept that kind of constructive criticism, so we're all getting better together. Sound good? Deal? All right, we're here to level up. Moxie, we got this. We just got to continue to have 1,000% belief in ourselves and the dreams that we have. So I can't wait to read your victories. I can't wait to read like what you're going to achieve in the next 26 hours. I'm pumped. All right, so I'm going to post right now on that. So you guys run over to Moxie and drop some of those in the chat.
I have a couple questions if you want me to answer these.
Oh, okay. If you guys don't have time to stay on, then you don't have to. I know that it's been almost an hour. How long do your new coaches stay in your groups before splitting off and doing their own groups?
It's a good question. The way I do it, I ask them, when they feel comfortable. I like to do one solid, challenge group. What I did with my last challenge group, Jess, I think, is on this call. Where are you, Jess? Yeah, there she is. She's been with me for a while, but what we did is we did one very structured challenge group where, where each coach had their task. So they kind of got more used to it, more confident, more comfortable. And then I said, listen, what I did is I kind of paired people off. So they weren't necessarily on their own. Because that could be a little bit intimidating, and I don't want it to be all of a sudden oh, this is great. And they're oh my God, Like, what do I do now? Like, this isn't fun anymore, you know? So I didn't want that. I didn't ever, and if that were the case, I would keep them in my group. So my priority is to keep the coaches, you know, confidence levels up, excited, like all that kind of stuff. And I want them to feel comfortable. And again, knowing that when they invite these challengers, that they're going to get a great experience. So that's a big part of it, I think, too, is like not throwing, you know, coaches off to the wolves and saying good luck. You know, that's great. I think that's how they're going to learn, no doubt about it. Because if you keep them there month after month after month, then they're not really growing. But I do think it's important for them to, you know, learn the ropes, really get confident, really get their confidence level up. And, you know, if they need, again, if they want, I said to them, if you want me to go in the group and if you ever need me to just, you know, which I knew they didn't, you know what I mean? Like, but if you do need me to do something, like I'm there, I'll be like a shadow or like in the back burner kind of thing. Like if you need help, and you can stay and shadow my challenge group as well to get tips or pointers or anything like that as you're going along. So I like to do one solid round with them actually, you know, really digging in deep and being a really active coach in the group. But if they need to, then that's okay too. I have had coaches that say, you know, is there any way that I could do one more round with you before I start my own? And that's fine. So one or two I think would be okay, but it's definitely going to be, you know, how they feel. But I like the idea of partnering them off as well, if that's an option for you guys. I know some people only have one coach or two coaches. So it's really based on the level of comfort, I think, and you kind of will be able to tell that. I'm lucky. I think my coaches are really independent. They're great. I have all the confidence in them. I probably have more confidence in them than they have in themselves sometimes. So I know that I'm lucky and they can run their own. Hopefully that helps. And I think that's, no, I don't do a separate group for new challengers. I think that having the old challengers, like Laura had said, having old challengers in there actually helps because they know what they're doing. They keep the excitement up. And I think that's actually just creates a better environment. They almost act like coaches, you know, some of the older challengers. So I think that keeping them all in one group actually is a good thing in the long run. So
yeah. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I'm pumped because we're wrapping up February. We have a great March coming up. I know that we have something called the Moxie Focus Group for everyone in Moxie who qualifies for Success Club. You guys are invited to that special like higher level group where we keep each other accountable on a higher level. It's for great brainstorming. So if you hit Success Club this month, then you will be added to that group so you can enjoy all the goodness there and all this special training this month. Specifically this next week and a half or so, we're going to be going over how to go live on your page and how to make it effective, where people actually like engage and how to help your business going live. So it's just cool extra training in that group. So that's kind of something special to strive for. All right, guys. Peace out. I'm going to upload this to YouTube, post it in the group. But I did already post our call to action so you guys can march out and write your victories down and go start working on them before you go to bed. All right. Bye, guys. Mwah!